to more or less, I'm kind of like a river doctor. I'll go out into the streams, find out what's wrong with the river, and tell the appropriate people what's wrong, and then maybe offer some suggestions on what they can do. So a lot of times, if you're driving through Farmington, you might see a SWCD, Soil and Water Conservation District vehicle, pulled over on the side of the road, and that's usually what we're doing, is we're trying to measure the river, figure out what kind of pollutants are in there, if the flow is too high, like it is right now, right? You see that in some of the lakes and ponds and rivers, the flow is really high, right? It's because we had all that rain. And the wetland we're going to go look at in a little bit is full of water. Most years, it's really, really dry, so we're lucky to be here this year. But we're here today, like the sign said, to talk about wetlands. Who knows what a wetland is, or what's another name for a wetland?
Sometimes like lakes.
A lake can be a wetland if it's shallow, but lakes are usually really deep, right? How about you?
A pond.
A pond can be a wetland, yep.
A swamp.
Swamp is a very good example of a wetland. You?
A marsh.
A marsh? Any other names?
Can a river be one?
A river usually has flow, so the water is moving. Okay. So a wetland is usually kind of stagnant, standing water, right? Yeah. Can you think of another name? So we got marsh, we got swamp, there's one more.
Ocean?
Nope, an ocean is definitely not a wetland because it's salty and it's way too big and deep. How about you?
A bog. A
bog, that's the one I was looking for. A bog, a marsh, a swamp, those are all different types of wetlands, aren't they? And what's the key ingredient that all wetlands have?
Water.
Water, right? It's just standing water. A lot of times they're a low-lying depression, just a low spot in the landscape where water accumulates, kind of like this nice wetland we're going to go look at. So why don't we slowly and carefully, I know you just sat down, let's carefully get off and walk down the boardwalk and take a look.
Usually don't live in Minnesota though.
What else?
They usually live down in Louisiana.
Anything with 4 legs and furry?
Ferrets!
Muskrats!